live stream. Nobody's on here yet, so you're going to be coming on in a second. This is an impromptu live stream. We didn't announce it. So whoever's out there, you can watch it. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's probably been recorded earlier today. But I wanted to bring Nikki back. She was here last week, and she's been you just finished a workshop today.
Yes.
And we are on day 6. Day 6, yeah. Tomorrow's
Monday,
7.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tomorrow's 7.
Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. So we're on day 6 of the week long, and we're going to be going into the advanced
because tomorrow's the last. It's day 7.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we take Monday off, and we start up again Tuesday.
The whole week.
And clients are killing it. They're growing like weeds. We had them out last night, all night till all hours of the night, and we had them out all day. And the nice thing is they do work with models like Nikki who've been working. We got some models that are brand new and models who've been working for us for years, like Nikki, that help the guys reach their next level. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, Nikki and all the other models are your biggest fans.
We're rooting for you like 100%.
Yeah. They really want to see you grow, change, become badasses, have women love you. They really care about you guys. And so a lot of you guys, I see you guys get in here and some guys get really resentful of women. They're angry at women. But honestly, there are women that are bitches out there. Right?
Facts.
Yeah, facts. There are women that manipulate men.
Facts.
But if you learn to feel your body and connect to your body, you'll find the good women that actually care about you, men like Nikki and like the women we have in the workshops. The women that want to have awesome, healthy relationships with men that aren't there just to be manipulative.
Right. And you won't even see them because you won't even be on that frequency. And then if you do, it's not even like a trigger for you at all. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, well, good luck with that. How's that working out with you? So it won't even matter. You'll be attracting who you want to engage and spend your time with and your energy with, so it's just who you're being.
There you go. Kevin said you're hot.
Kevin, are you trying to be my fave?
You're already her favorite, Kevin.
Off the top.
So yeah, this it's a really good point, and you're speaking facts too. Is that when you are at the plane of really appreciating and loving women, you're going to draw women that love you in. You can't be faking it though. That's the key. Is how we often come in and we're trying to force a feeling into our body, like feeling like a confident guy. I'm going to force feeling like a confident guy.
I'm playing confident.
Right.
I'm playing work. Smooth, and women see straight through the bullshit because we're naturally intuitive and we naturally feel. So yeah.
And the women that don't see through the bullshit typically have the same issues you do. And so if you want to get really confident women, the more confident you get, the healthier you get, the more you get the like in a woman, something similar. If you're trying to manipulate, you'll get women that'll try to manipulate you. If you're angry, you'll get women that are angry at you. Something like that will typically happen. So can you talk about what you're seeing in the clients this week? How's the growth going in your opinion? How are they changing? How are they shifting? We've been putting little clips up, by the way, in case you didn't know, on YouTube stories, Instagram stories, little clips of them out socializing, flirting, talking out in the field and stuff like that. So you haven't seen any of that, but that's been going up. Some of the guys, I don't know if you guys have been seeing that, but that stuff's been going up.
That'd be cool to see the guys. So you guys are putting the clips up of them out in the field?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Oh, you're a chocolate goddess too.
I'm trying to, you know what? I am. Thank you. I've been trying to get into my goddess energy.
You are blushing a little bit.
I am. It's a little rouge and blush, blushing a little bit.
Yeah.
Joseph. So what I've been seeing
just for you, I'm gonna put that one on the screen. Just a chocolate goddess.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Brian. All right.
Okay.
So what's been happening with the work with the men and stuff like that. So me coming in, just because I've been working with the company for so long, and I just, you kind of see certain things or patterns, like you were saying, like if it's like resentment or if it's anger or they're way in the front of their body, which is just like a lot of in the feeling of heart and not feeling, like their backs, and the more in the masculine, the back and stuff like that. But
let me really quick, I don't mean to interrupt, but a lot of you out there, if you don't follow our channel, we have our approach to being more social, being more confident, better with women has to do largely with getting out of your head and getting more embodied, learning
Yes.
to connect through the heart, feeling your stomach, feeling your legs, grounding into your back, which is where your masculine is. This is stuff we talk about a lot on this channel, and that's what she's referring to. She's referring to this idea that a guy who is embodied is way sexier than a guy who's thinking a lot.
Right.
So I'll give you one quick example, and then I'm going to have her continue on. If you were going to ride a surfboard or a snowboard or ski or something like that, you can't be thinking while you do it. You have to be embodied. You have to feel your body, move with your body. And it's the same with socialization, connecting with a beautiful woman, talking. You need to hit these flow states. And that comes through embodiment. And even sex. Sex sucks from your head.
Well,
you want to say something?
I didn't say anything.
Are you talking about the other head?
What are you talking about?
Sex comes from when you do sex from your analytical mind.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. No one wants that.
Yeah.
No one wants analytical sex unless you want us to be like left, right, up, back. What are you doing? Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of embodiment, and it has nothing again about what you're saying. Everyone wants guys want to, say the right thing. I'm doing the right technique and all that. And at the end of the day, it's again about taking in the person in front of you, taking in the female, taking in the human right in front of you. What are you looking at?
I was reading another comment about you. I'll tell you later.
And taking that all in. So the embodiment, right? The energy. So I was actually talking to a guy friend yesterday where he was out, and I said, it's so interesting because he was, and doing all of the things, and I knew it, but I hadn't been in the work, so I didn't know about it. And so it's just kind of like, in the heart space, is that open? Are you receiving? Because we want to be seen and things like that. So with the group at the beginning, I think this was, we definitely have more heartfelt and very feeling type of guys, as opposed to there's some guys that are we have more than the ones that are like your heart is closed and it's like rigid and you're very well grounded and everything. But with that, even if you're in the heart or if you're grounded, right, it has served them in some sort of way, which is not bad, right? So like if their heart is closed and they may be amazing in business, but then they're just like that one deal or with women or other, or other people connecting, they're just like, I don't know why people won't fully connect. And then usually, like we talk about that, is because without any of the heart space, just naturally, you're not going to be trusting.
Yeah.
So we do have a few of those guys. Sometimes one is more than the other. We have more heart-filling guys and stuff. So coming in, just looking at that, there was tremendous progress by day 3. And it's a lot of the models are going in. They're like, what did you guys do to, the next day or the break room, whatever. But it's really releasing any of, stuck energy and neck. And it's not like we're over here doing meditation or anything like that. We're not like, relax. Okay. Now feel your body. It's not even about that. Again, it's just on
we're not doing all this hippy dippy stuff.
We're not doing hippy dippy. We're not doing lines and we're not doing hippy dippy. So
we're not doing lines. What kind of lines are you talking?
See, this is not where we're going here. Lines is in pickup lines, guys. They know what we're talking about over there.
We're not at a wild all night party.
Right. This is not
those
that.
kind of lines.
Right. It's not those kind of lines. But yeah, so in significant improvement. And then for me, when I see you guys, like have wins out there, even the subtleties, like I was speaking with, who was that? I think it might've been Joel, where was it? Okay. One of them, it might've been Joel. I don't know, but was just like, I'm just really, maybe it wasn't Joel. So Joel, I'm sorry. I don't want to call you out but you'll know who you are. You remember this conversation. They were just kind of like, I'm just in my head because I want to get it right. Like, I feel like everybody has had a breakthrough and stuff like that. Right. And I'm like, again, this is like a message for life. It's like, if you're looking for the big ta-da, breakthrough. It's like, because you might see somebody that just totally had an emotional release, right? Maybe they haven't cried in a long time, or it was just an emotional release. And that's all it is energy releasing. It's not about, oh, we're trying to make you sad or angry or anything like that. It's just an emotional release where energy has been stuck. So with him, I said, when you said even a little bit, even like if you were here and then you just kind of went here and relaxed a little bit and had any of these little subtleties, these are breakthroughs. These are wins. And you should acknowledge yourself for that, because I said just all the way on the opposite side, when somebody is so mad and then they finally blow up at you and you're like, whoa, what happened? They didn't just walk in that day and blow up. They've been holding it in little by little by little by little by little. And then it was a big one. So I said, it's the same thing on good things. It's like, give yourself for the wins of, okay, now I'm kind of relaxed. Now I'm even more connected. I connected with 3 of them and, some of the guys or whatever. And then, all of those little wins. So I think coming in at the end, we're in the home stretch. I kind of want to push. Like I'm seeing so much.
Get permission to push now. You've earned their respect.
Yeah.
They understand how to ground everything out now. They understand how to handle more emotional pain they've ever been able to handle in their life. And so now we can call them out at a much bigger level.
Yeah, than day one. Day one, they would have buckled and all that. And I mean, push, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm to go out and to be bitchy, right? That's not like when I'm saying I'm going to push them to the limit. It's not even like that. It's like if I saw that you were here and now you're here for your vulnerability, it's like, all right, let's stretch and work that muscle a little bit more on vulnerability. Yeah. Let's now, you're great on your vulnerability, great opening up the heart. Now let's see how well the next, heart and
let's talk about that, because this is really good. Like you're talking about vulnerability, and a lot of guys out there, like I did a podcast. This must have been 10 years ago. And the person that was hosting the podcast was very concerned about me using the term vulnerability, because he saw it as neediness. In his mind, he's like, no, we got to clarify to the audience that you're not talking about neediness. So he labeled the podcast how to be vulnerable, strong, not vulnerable, needy. That's how he titled it. And I was like, well, yeah, that's because vulnerability in my mind is power, strength, its ultimate level of confidence. But I don't see it as vulnerable, needy. And I do see a distinct difference between neediness and wallowing. And
wanting and all that. Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
Can you explain the difference from a woman's perspective?
Being vulnerable is it's almost like you showing us that you're human. Yeah. It's showing that, that I am not afraid. It's a strength in it. I am not afraid to show you, that I have feelings. Like I can be down. There could be, things could hit the fan. I can be it's very genuine and authentic, and it makes us even more connected, and it makes us even more trusting of you as a guy. Yeah. The vulnerable, it's just, and not trying to play vulnerable, because now we feel into the manipulation of it, as opposed to the neediness, because women are naturally nurturing. So if you have this wanting and being needy from a validation point of like, okay, like, all right, I'm gonna, try to impress or just have this conversation, like, does she like me after I said this? And, you just have this needing in the eyes. Well, at the beginning, we will, we'll talk and it'll be open, stuff like that. But then it just becomes like, because we're naturally nurturers, but then it just becomes like annoying and irritating. It's like, imagine like you're out there and there's like a needy girl and
you naturally want to deal with subtle emotions and that are going on, whether that's nurturing or whether that's chopping it off. Chopping it off again sounds. But where are we going on this? But women have 2 sides, and we talked about this earlier in the week. They have that nurturing side, Shakti, and then they have the side that wants to cut off your head, Kali.
We did talk about that.
And they both have a purpose, right? If a woman comes in nurturing and she's really like, oh, let me help you with that, and then you get more victim-y and you become weaker because of it, that's not sexy. You're not growing. At all. So now she wants to rip out your heart and cut off your head, as in the Kali example, but she really doesn't. What she wants to do is get you to toughen up and become stronger, because it's really important that it's not, masculine doesn't have to wall off to become strong.
Right.
Masculine needs to be able to face its fear and say, you know what, I'm fucking scared, terrified, I'm shaking talking to you, but I showed up anyway.
But you showed up. At the bottom line,
Yeah.
it's like, that's all we're wanting. Like, show up. And on the most primitive state, again, of men and women, it's like, we have to know when shit hits the fan, we're good. Like, you got us, because, you know, we don't, I mean, we can have it. We just don't, we would rather us not be the one to do that. So if you can show up in the midst of being fearful or nervous or scared, it's attractive and it's sexy, and as opposed to being reactive. And guys can go straight into being reactive in those, you know, certain ways and stuff. So,
and when a man really shows up in the midst of being scared, maybe he's shaking, maybe he's nervous, but he's like, I'm going to show up anyways. You're not stopping me. What does that do to a woman? Because there's the mystique. There was a thing I read years ago. Somebody read it online, and it was this mystique that the masculine has to women, just like the women have a mystique to men. There's this mystique that men have lost touch with, that women know about. It's the male, masculine, powerful mystique, something secretive and powerful inside of them. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I can feel what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's like
there's not enough men with it today.
Yeah,
men,
this is true.
Really powerful men who own their balls, who own their masculinity, sit in their spines, that can walk, that are non-reactive, that aren't out there going, "Oh, women did this to me, life did this to me."
I'm a man.
But they don't have to restate it.
Right? It's like, we can clearly see you have a penis and ball. Like, yeah, it's like those. I'm a man. Don't you know? You want to talk to me ever? I'm a man. I mean, it was like this one dude at the table, and there was this other guy that was just. And it was his friend that was just in it and just steal.
Are you talking about some table?
Just to take, like, I was just at an outing function, and this is the what we're talking about. And this one guy was one way, and the other guy was the other one. It's like, and it wasn't that he was all big and macho or anything like that. It was just in that stillness of grounding and doing that. And the other guy was just like, yeah, whatever, women, because you know, whatever women say, whatever, because I'm a man and I'm a man, and we're all like. Okay, we can clearly, but all the women were attracted. And this guy was like, never said like hardly two words to the other one. And it was like, because you don't have to. You just.
And guys who get it know that, and they know when they walk in the room and they see each other, that guy gets it, that guy doesn't. This one guy, he was a natural. He was a barber, and he was a natural. Remember, he cut hair for a living. That I remember about him. And simple dude, but he was masculine, natural, loved his life. And he said, you know, when I walk in a room, I can always tell the guy that's going to get, when there's two guys competing for a girl, I can almost always tell the guy that's going to get the girl. And he says, really simple. The one that's speaking the most is going to lose. The one that's really calm and powerful and relaxed and just owns his space, he's usually the one that wins.
Yeah.
And because the other guy is like trying to figure things out. He's hustling, you know. And the dude, I'm not talking about the shy guy. Like if you walk in, there's a shy guy that's a shut. We're talking about a guy that's on his space. That's letting his eyes do the work. Letting his groundedness do the work. Letting his cock energy do the work. And that's that masculine mystique. There's something about him that's like a magnet that pulls on you. Just like when a woman's got it, there's something about her that pulls on you.
It's alluring. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And unfortunately, I don't see enough men with that today. I think we used to have more of it back in primitive times because men had to show up or we died, right? Everybody died. If men back in primitive times didn't show up, people died.
Yeah.
And we didn't have housing, we didn't have food, we didn't have shelter, we didn't protect. Today, because we can sit on our couches all day and be bums and smoke pot, we don't have to show up anymore. So then we run around bitching and moaning that, why don't women like me? Well, you're not fucking stepping into your masculine. Women want you to. Don't get me wrong. They want you to. And vice versa. I see the same thing with women.
Yeah.
I see women all trying to be the masculine today. And
that's what I was going to say. I totally
not showing up in their feminine.
Right.
And then wondering why guys don't want to put up with a girl like me.
I am intimidating to guys. They're intimidating. Like, no, they're
just not sexy.
You're competing with the guy. That's what it is. It's like not really intimidating. You are masculine energy competing with masculine energy. It will never work.
Yeah, he might hang out and have a beer with you, but he's not gonna want to fuck you.
Right. Have a beer, like with another, like, yes,
Dude.
like I'm saying, it's masculine, masculine. Yes, absolutely. So that's completely true, vice versa. So, yeah, I talk a lot about that with female friends and associates of mine that are very independent. I don't need a guy for that. I don't need a guy. Well, if you don't need, like, why do you think, if you don't need them, what's his job? What is he there for? You know, to be the penis? Well, you got that over in the drawer too. So, you know, I can't believe he left me for, because it's allowing him to own his masculinity. Yeah. And it doesn't mean as a female, you got to just let him run all over you, tell you what to do. And all. It's not even about that. You know, like I have masculine traits as in for business and getting things done. And because again, I'm in LA, so you know, to get from point A to point B and stuff like that. But if the guy comes in, ground masculinity, owning that, then I can just be like, okay.
Yeah. And that's just so fucking sexy to me as a man. Like when a woman surrenders to me in the moment and I can, here's another thing. She's not the only one surrendering in that moment. She's not just surrendering to me. She's surrendering to my masculine. I'm surrendering to my own masculine and therefore surrendering to her feminine. And we end up both in a flow state. My body takes over and becomes the masculine and as she surrenders and I begin to do that. Let's say we go into a dominance play. Go into that dominance play. I'm just as surrendered in that as she is. And there's this flow between us of the masculine. And it's so nurturing to both our souls in that moment. And so many couples today, both sides, half masculine, half feminine, and it's all about compromise. We'll get a minivan. We'll have date night every Friday. You do this for me, I'll do this for you. Right. And I can't think of anything more torturous.
Yeah, because that's all that's going to do. And then it's just going to build resentment. It's like, it's just building resentment because it's because you're not getting what you want. It's like, well, you can't always get what you want. You have to get, but can you? I mean, you know, it's a flow of
honestly,
allowing.
We don't always want what we want. The truth is, if we got everything we want, we'd be miserable. Truth is, half of what we want, probably 80% of what we want, we don't really want. We just want it from our ego. And if we got it, we wouldn't want it the moment we got it. You know, there's a small percentage of things you really want. And those are the things you're willing to go through hell or high water to get. You're willing to fight demons to get. The rest, you know, is I want to have sex with 100 hot women, you know, in this year. Oh. Now I don't feel any better about myself.
Right.
Yeah. It's like,
I was listening to some lyric and it's like, we're all praying for new cars and not praying for love. It's like, but it's like, that's the ego. So it was, I forgot what it's something, whatever. But it's like, yeah, everyone's out praying for new cars, but not praying for love. It's like on the ego, you're praying for women, praying to get this husband, but it's like, if you're for love, for your own, like,
love for yourself,
yes,
for others, connection.
Yeah.
And you can't love somebody else unless you love yourself.
Oh my gosh.
That's the other part. And love is a real thing. It's not, it's like faith is a real thing. And I'm not talking, you could call it Christian, you can call it whatever you want. Faith without works is dead. Faith is a real fucking thing. It has power to it and a feeling. It runs through your body. So does love. And we're not, and love doesn't have, this is where everybody gets a love mistake. I hurt because she's not in my life. Like she left me and I hurt so bad. And I gotta get this girl. There's this girl I like, and I gotta get her. I'm in love with her. That's not love. That's fucking lust, dude. There's a big difference. Love doesn't have this needy, I gotta get her, otherwise I'm on happy energy. Yeah. Love is like, I can enjoy her from a distance. She's beautiful. She doesn't want to be with me. I still love her. If she wants to be with me, I still love her. And there's no, like, I don't need her to be a certain way because I love myself first.
Yes.
I got, you know, and now if she doesn't come into my life, I can appreciate her, let her go, and somebody else will come into my life.
Right.
That takes time to develop.
Right. And also like in these sessions with the guys, it's like, you know, like, oh, you feel your heart. And it's like, well, did you feel it? And it's like, do you feel what's happening with you? How do you feel? How, and a lot of times men and women's like, well, what do you think? How do you? And it's like, again, it goes back on, did that make me feel good? Did that empower me? Because if it doesn't, a lot of the times which again, I was having this conversation the other night, it's like how you can watch certain people on the news or on TV or even these movies, and you're getting goosebumps because of what they are embodying. So what the person, so if the guy or the girl comes up and she's like, hey, or she's like, oh, hi. And yeah, whatever, pushing the energy or too much, you're going to kind of go back in and retreat or whatever. But if you are relaxed in your body, you are just in the moment, being present, taking the person in, then they relax in the moment and take, the same way. But if you're like, yeah, every time I'm around girls, they're just, they always like look at me strange and they go away. Well, how are you being?
Yeah.
It's never out.
Well, this is what I'm going to do some videos on this week. The eye
That's
contact
cool.
is so important. We were playing with it last night. We're out. What were you saying?
No, I was like, yeah.
I
was like, the eye contact. Yeah.
Yeah. And we had one client and I was particularly watching him. He was heavy last night. I decided to pull him aside, get him out of the heaviness. And then when I got him out of the heaviness, he's like, I could see how he was talking to girls. He was pushing on every girl. And we kind of played with this in the last video. I had to constantly, in the middle of the noise and the chaos of the environment we're in, teach him to receive the girls in rather than push. Let them affect his heart. Let them affect his stomach. Let him affect his heart. And this is a guy who did lots of pickup. After he did that, he was like, he had a hard time. He's like, was that just a fluke? So those girls kept wanting to talk to me. And I was like, right. No, it wasn't a fluke. And he said 5 girls later, I'm still thinking it's a fluke. Like I've talked to 5 different girls and they all keep wanting to talk to me. Maybe I was
lucky. I was like, after 5, trust. Were they all in one group? No? Okay.
Right. And in his mind, this stuff's not supposed to work. And what he's literally doing, and I'll do a video or two on this week more, but he was literally just, instead of pushing, hey, what's up? How you doing? That's pickup.
Oh yeah, that's
pickup.
Guys do that. Yeah.
And I've demonstrated this a few times. When I got up, we'll give camera, full body, standing up, all this. But instead of that, he's receiving her in and letting her touch her emotions, her feelings, hit his heart, and then hit his stomach. Both, and open up his throat. And this sounds weird. It sounds hippy dippy, but it's a literal thing that's happening.
Yeah, because I feel like you're like this, like I'm coming into you, like, and I know you guys probably not a good angle to see, but coming in and then do the push, the high push, do that one.
Oh yeah. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is such the guy.
and then he gets real aggressive. Most guys are like this. Hi, how you doing? My name's Brian. Where are you from? And there's that. Or they're playing coy. Hey, how you doing? My name's Brian. Where are you from? I'm
but
still pushing.
Yeah, it is. It's still push.
I'm turning my body away.
Right.
I'm still pushing.
Right.
Or I could be right up on her and I could do the opposite, right? I could relax and start taking her in more and be curious about her and start opening my heart to curiosity.
Yeah. So you guys can't see the eyes, but again, it was a difference between receiving. Like I felt a difference between the receiving and then you being curious.
Yeah. And now the energy's going this way. And there's a little dance going between our eyes right now. And I'm pulling on her a little. That you don't have to do that. You can just receive. But this is a little tug. I'm like pulling back a little bit. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's us playing with each other, and that's part of the
dance.
Game. And that all happens under the surface while you're talking. And this is what people don't get. There's so much happening. This is embodiment happens under the surface while you're talking.
Right.
Really quick. Oh, Luis is on here. He loves you.
Yay! We do like Luis.
But Brian, what about when an apathy makes you feel uninterested and I'll just show this one really quick. Makes you feel uninterested and default to be quiet. I really do hate the fact that I just can't get over layers of apathy when I come here to the States. You gotta have to process. Contact one of us about the guilt teachings, Louise, because guilt is a linchpin to get out of apathy. And if you're not understanding how to release your guilt properly, you'll constantly pop back down into apathy. I'll do a video on that at some point too. That's not something I can explain in 1 minute, but the idea is that because guilt is so overriding between birth and death, there's the guilt of the moment, as Hawkins says. and we live in so much guilt. It's like a fish in water. Most of us can't see it anymore. So that's the basic principle. When you can start to see your guilt again and start to release it, then you can start to release all the apathy, because the apathy is there to protect you from this nonstop, constant guilt. This is a lot topic because a lot of people can't see their guilt. Okay. So I got to teach you guys to see it. I actually have thought about just really doing a whole ton of teachings on guilt. It's so life changing, guys. Great conversation. Let's see what's here. Luis, while I travel, I am the happiest. Yeah, because you're running away from everything that, like when you leave your life, if I leave my life, all my stories are wrapped up and then I go out somewhere else, I'm away from it all. There's a freedom and you get to let all that go for a little bit. You don't have to feel guilty. Then you come back to your life. That's why people go,
that's why people go to Vegas. Exactly. And then you're just taking a break. You're not actually,
Nikki for the win. You got that one.
Oh, that's sweet.
You're getting lots of love today, sweetie. Surrender to the feminine by going into your masculine. Love that. Good. Awesome, Joseph. Joseph took the class, he said, about a year ago, and he remembers you had a conversation with you. He really likes you. So he's the one. Here. When this one's great. I'm going to pop it up on the screen so you guys can see it. I should have water over here. Usually I always have water. That's always, if you do a podcast, have water. It's important. I forgot this time. When a man turns up in his masculine and a woman submits to it in her feminine, it's like the most fantastical experience for both.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You guys for a second so I can cough.
What does it say? Nature of what?
Nature as good Lord intended. Great comment.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, because you're in the flow.
Sounds like Kanye. I don't know what part we were talking about when he said
because I said the rapper said there was, so it could have been, where it says everybody's praying for cars instead of praying for love.
Jim Salmon said, hey, Nikki.
Jello.
Yeah. Okay, good. We can't go through all these, but we've been going a lot longer than we intended. I only intended to go 30 minutes. Guilt teachings. Yes, that would be fire. Hey, Truth. What's up, buddy? Good to have you back. I love that you guys are always back on here. It's awesome. So we've got Nikki going. Yeah, we're at 32 minutes right now. So would you guys like to see Nikki on here more often? She really spews some really good information, and she really believes in you guys, believes in the masculine. She also believes in the feminine. She also believes there is masculine that's just not showing up, and she believes there's feminine that's not showing up. So she's not one side or the other. That's what I want you guys to understand. She's not out here saying, oh, women got all their shit together, men don't, or vice versa.
I'm almost more pro the guys than the girls. It's probably like more girls are like, gosh, Nick, like, yeah. But I would say like on both. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not like you guys. Yeah.
So it's a little bit of each. So, did Nikki did some releasing? She feels different from the last time. Well, she's been in the workshop the last few days.
I've been in the workshop the last few days, and it's been very powerful. So again, I grow and I take from every day of the workshop, and I process and I find a little bit more about myself and learn a little bit more about myself. How you say on my poker face, and it's like, there's some part that I don't want, in that game, but then there's also a part of me where I've taken a poll, and like some of the guys are like, no, I think, you are loving your like guys, previous boyfriends, you're loving and stuff like that. And you're very caring, but they're like, but I don't know, like, how do you, like, how much you really like me. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, listen, we're doing it. Like, what, like, and again, I know it's on the heart and on the connection, because I have been like completely open and then been hurt. And so like, it's a safety and a safe mechanism. And so it's almost like if I ground in my masculinity and you really ground me, then it's like, now I feel safe that, I still am, I'm trying to be vulnerable, because you still could, but that's what I'm working on each of the days, is like, I'm asking the guys to be vulnerable. Am I being vulnerable? Am I giving my heart? Am I letting them in? Like, I'm wanting them to.
There's nothing more unattractive than a woman that refuses to be vulnerable, because that's the nature of femininity.
That's the nature.
Yeah, masculine, we just have to be a little vulnerable.
Yeah.
The women live vulnerability. this sounds crazy, but think about the masculine body versus the female body, right? Masculine body is more rugged. It's built to be beat up more. It can handle more, being attacked more. Feminine body can rape alone. You know, it's much more vulnerable. And women.
Well, for all the girls out there, I'm going to stop when you're like, it can handle more because, you know, we do birth humans, but outside of that, we're saying,
I'm talking about an emotional.
Yeah, on emotional, right? I was just like, it's an emotional level, not actual.
Well, it's actually kind of an oxymoron. Because the masculine body can be beat up more physically.
Right.
The feminine body can handle more emotion internally.
Yes.
So the feminine body is actually built to handle more emotion, but is also subject to feeling emotion so much they're much more sensitive.
Yes.
The masculine body is built to handle more
physical. Right.
But at the same time, you could say there are exceptions that rule: birthing a child.
Oh,
that can be
a
very physically demanding thing that woman can handle. But you put a man in war, he's going to do better. Being shot. You take an emotional level. You know, women can be very easily hurt out in the environment and get triggered and all these emotions. But in reality, you're never going to be able to compete with a woman on the level of emotion. She will, if you try to out emotion a woman, she will destroy you. Your job, your talent for a woman is grounding all her emotions, letting them run through you, not competing with her.
Yeah.
You know,
oh my gosh.
Penetrating her and receiving her.
Yeah, I dated a guy like that. I was
trying to compete with emotion.
It was just so draining. It was just so like, well, why? It's all of this, all of like, yeah.
You wanted to be a girl.
I mean,
I'll give one example, and then we're gonna end on one thing after that. David Data once said, and it was really good. He said, picture this, ladies, because there was a big room full of women and men, and he was like, picture this, ladies. If you were getting ready to go on a date, and Nikki's doing her hair and doing her lips and putting on her nice outfit, looking in the mirror, and she takes an hour to get ready for a date with me, and she's like, I'm gonna look good, I'm gonna look sexy, and she comes out, and I'm not ready. Let's say I'm going on a date with her, and I'm like still doing my hair, which I have none, but I'm still doing my hair. I'm still, wait a minute, babe. And I take an hour and a half to get ready for her. Well, how does that feel?
Fucking pissed.
Yeah. She'd be
like,
pissed.
Why are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are competing. It's like, why are you trying to look better than me? Or are you trying to what's taking you so long?
I'm competing with her feminine. That's the problem. And that's the same feeling you guys get when a woman competes with your masculine. So let's reverse that role. And let's say you're planning a trip for you two. Maybe you're going out to Mendocino and you're going to have wine, you're going to relax, and you're getting everything together, and you got the map and you got it all planned out, and you're driving, and she's like, no, you should have done this instead, and to turn here, and you should park over there. Don't drive in the slow lane, drive in that lane. And she's doing that the whole time. How does that feel?
Yeah, how does it feel, right? Like I've had to catch myself on that recently. I'm not like, and this, but I'm like, you can go in this lane here. It's a little bit faster or whatever, it's like, well, I was going, I was like, oh, I got to stop. Because I know from the work, and I've had to catch myself. I will be like, isn't that lane over there? We could be in the HOV lane because it's two of us, and it's like, oh yeah. Yeah,
there's a lot of masculine women that love to take charge, and the guys feel emasculated, and especially in the United States. And David Data gives us one weird, interesting assignment. The first time I heard it, because I was such a nice guy, I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't want to do that. And he gave this couple this assignment. They were sitting in the audience, and he was super feminine and super emasculated, and she was super dominant. He said, okay, for the rest of the day, I think it was 24 hours, you are going to be completely submissive to him, to the point where you're going to practice surrendering to him so much that you're not even going to go to the bathroom until he tells you to. And you can't tell him directly you need to go to the bathroom. You have to infer it. And he has to learn to read you so well, he knows everything you need before you do. So he can feel your subcommunication saying, I need to go to the bathroom. And they could go to the bathroom, babe. Or come over here, let's sit here. And you have to constantly send him messages and inferences, so he learns to feel your feminine and feel through your feminine and through your inferences. He has to lead, and then he has to lead based on what's best for both of you, what you need, what he needs. And you have to really work on those inferences and surrender. Oh, they both hated the idea. Yeah. She was like, I can't let him do that. I'll die. I'll starve to death. Something bad will happen.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's like, I don't want to do that. She'll break and rip my head off at some point. You know? But you think about that exercise. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think that would be, there's some fear in that whole thing, but it was kind of like me practicing that the other day of just allowing myself to follow. But it was just like, because I'm leading in the world or whatever. So I had to really, it's the same thing. I really had to like trust in following, and that, do you really know what's best for me? Do you? And then it's like, if you would just trust and like, let me, like lead you into the dance. And there were some times it was like fear. And then it was like, and he has me, but it's, I just
now David didn't say you couldn't disagree with something.
Yeah.
You just got to send the disagreement through inference. You can't say it literally.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like the sub-communication.
Now they're learning to read each other under the surface.
Yeah.
Which is what every couple really needs and wants. What every woman really wants.
Right.
To be honest.
Because it's really not. Again, it's not the words. Yeah. When you're over here having this argument, it's like, what is the sub-communication? Y'all can just be silent and have a whole problem. Yes. Yeah.
So fun stuff for you guys.
I was going to do this one.
Irvin said you're great. She's great.
Go back up. I was going to keep going. There's one above Joseph. Right there. It says, is that like when the girl I can't read it when it is.
Sorry. Is that like when the girl competing is what he's trying to write there. Yeah. Competing to the grounding one, but reverse. Is that like when the girl is competing with the grounding one?
Like when we were talking about like competing. Yeah. But I'm saying, I don't think like I'm naturally grounding. Like I'm natural. I'm not competing against my guy for grounding. Like that's just.
Well, you got a lot of grounding.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
I love it when my girls got grounding.
Yeah, that's just who I am. I'm not like competing in that, but
it's even sexier if she can ground herself and then she surrenders.
Yes,
all that.
That's what it is. That's what we're saying.
Completely feminine for you because you got it.
Right. So that's what it is. It's not like he's grounding and like I'm grounding because I'm gonna ground him more. Like no. I don't want to ground. Like I do want to surrender. I do, trust me. We want to surrender the grounding at all times for me. So yeah.
Okay. So really quick, as we're closing out this week and going to be going into next week, is there anything you want to say about the week long, the guys, what you're seeing change, transpire, and also even the women in the room? Because there's about 12, 13 women in a room on a day working with the guys and we got the coaches running around. And so they're actually, every guy for 5 hours a day or so approximately is standing in front of doing exercises with different models in the room.
Right.
And then the guys are doing their work. The models are doing and we're giving instructions to the models as to what we want done. And we're going around and then creating a container around the model and the guy a lot and keeping the space moving forward. And there's hundreds of exercises, and we're always picking based on what you need and changing them up. Do we need more disconnection exercise, connection exercise? Do we need to more drop into the stomach, more into the turn on? Do we need to be able to, do we need to feel more grounding? Do we need to be able to reject? And that's the disconnection, be able to reject her. And then, so especially when I get needy and start to fall into her, can I break that? Mm-hmm. And can I come back? So that breaks a lot of nice guy syndrome when you understand how that works. And so these are the exercises going on. Is there anything you want to say about the week as far as what you're seeing? Because the women go through a lot too.
Yeah, I do see the women also like opening up a little, more themselves because why? The guys are settling more into themselves. So now it's just all about, relaxing into the body, having fun. That's really, it's like, don't think like, I just tell the guys, you're, always try to fuck it up. Always try to just go out there and try, because you never know what life is going to throw you. They're going to always be crazy curveballs and things. Right. So I've seen so much, again, improvement with this group, just so much growth. I don't want to say improvement because they're already whole, perfect, and complete, right? So just so much growth, right? So I'm just like, I don't know what you guys have shown for the videos because I haven't seen it, but because you've hit here and you've hit here so fast of your growth, I'm just so looking forward to next week because it's different exercises, different embodiment, pushing, you guys to grow even further. And again, us models are rooting. We're not here to like tear you down. We already can feel into, well, I'll speak for myself, where we are. I already saw when you walked in the first day, the last day. Yeah. And there has been, where I had it here and that fooled me. Some of the clients completely. Can I say names? But
you can't say. I don't know the names. You can say maybe the first name.
No, the first name. Like, I mean, if I even remember the first. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. But like Jim, surprise. You just think, oh, he's not going to say what, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to get him. So how did you feel on this exercise? Well, I was like, whoa, okay. Like he stood out. It was just like he even led other guys in the other exercise and all that. So sometimes it's just, it exceeds my expectation.
You should come see him out at night. It's almost shocking.
Yeah, exceeds my expectations. And I'm just like, whoa.
Last night he blew me away. The difference he was while we were out, the amount of fun he was having, the fluidity, the flow. I was like, who the fuck is
this guy? Right, yeah. Right. Yeah. So I'm just saying, I'm very excited about next week and the different exercises. Because again, it's about, we move and turn to what we feel as a group is needed in in coaching and stuff like that. So.
Exactly. Awesome. Thank you for coming back and doing an update. And we'll get Nikki on here more often. I do want to remind you guys, we've got the Integrated Man Summit coming up. I can't post a link up here, I don't think, because I don't have my assistant here helping me out. True. He's got control of all that. Well, there it is. Look, right there. Boom. Integrated Man Summit. Now I know how to use this thing. Integrated Man Summit. That's coming up November 4th through the 6th in Miami, Florida. Make sure to check that out. We'll have a ton of different speakers. All the coaches will be speaking from Fearless. I'll be speaking. Alex Bustamante, the CIA spy. Alex from Playing with Fire will be speaking. So it'll be an amazing, amazing event. If you want to learn more about this embodiment stuff and you want something simple to get started with, I wrote a little manual that just kind of goes through basic qualities, masculine qualities, and just describes them. And the whole idea of this is to give you guys a basic principle with exercises to start working these different qualities. And so some of the stuff I've got in here is the power of belief, qualities, the specific qualities that are sexy in a man that a woman loves. For example, proactive, reactive, becoming a proactive man. That's what that's about. Why do women respond to grounded men? So getting into groundedness, playing with tension, understanding tension, how much more sexy that makes you. Then adding vulnerability with the tension, understanding how to use vulnerability in a sexy way, strong vulnerability, the art of decision-making, containing and managing your interactions, leading like a boss, understanding what it is to lead and guide in an interaction as the masculine when the feminine surrenders to you, and activating your turn on. There's other things that come with the purchase of this book, some video discussions with me and the other coaches. Definitely check that out. I don't have a link, I believe, for that. Let's see, maybe I do. But you can find that on our website, and you can check.
Oh, there it is.
The article. This one. Yep. Okay, I think that's it right there. We've got the URL. Really obvious. I should know all this shit, huh? People ask me sometimes, what are the costs of the workshop? I don't even know anymore. I've kind of given that to a division of the company to somebody else, and I just teach now and flow. And I'm going to start working. I'm going to get more involved in that and get more into marketing. But because I can't do everything all the time. So you guys are awesome. It was great having you on the call, and we'll see you the next time. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, make sure to hit that bell notification. Make sure to share if you know anybody that can use this. And I can't think, and I think that's it. Have a beautiful one, and remember, only the confident really live. Do you want to say anything?
I wish I had a cool quote like that. Can't wait to see you guys. Hopefully I'll see you in Miami. And come on, guys, rooting for you next week.
And she's thinking about coming to Miami.
Thinking.
So, possibly. Well, that's what she means by hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys, take care. Have a beautiful day.